everybody. Super duper good afternoon in India. I am logging in from Iceland. So beautiful here. We just came in yesterday, so today is day 1. I still have to step out to really see the country, but it is cold like anything. And for those of you who know me, know how much I am scared of the cold. So layering from thermals to sweaters to jackets to scarves to, oh my God, people who live in winters have a different level of appreciation for every one of you. Happy Valentine's Day. You may have noticed that lately we have been really building up the love bubble, as I'd like to call it, with all of our posts around love, because you know we are launching today a very special 25-day challenge. This is a dedication of mine to my entire tribe, because pretty much from the 14th of February to the 10th of March is a 25-day period. So one challenge every day for you to improve your relationships. Somebody was asking, can single people also do it? Of course. I think the more you are becoming the person who will attract a better person in the process, the more you become a person of the kind that you want to attract, the more you'll attract that kind of person. So more than welcome. And you know what? The thing about relationships is, though we give a lot of importance to the coupling part of the relationship, everything is relationship. If you notice, it's our relationship with our environment, our relationship with money, our relationship with health, our relationship with people, our relationship with the world. Wherever we put our focus on, that relationship starts to improve. You start to focus on your health relationship, you see how that starts to improve. True or not? So you can use this in so many varied ways. And that's one of the reasons why for some time now I've been thinking I want to really move deeply into the space of relationships, because at the end of our life, isn't that what we are going to be in sort of thinking about? So on the last day, they say, of your life, you're not going to be thinking about, I wish I had worked more, or I wish I had spent more clock hours in my job. What are you going to thinking about? You're going to be thinking about all the relationships you nurtured, all the time you spent on yourself and other people in really, making connections. Human beings love to belong to a person, to a tribe, to a country. I think the thing is to belong, and to find our belongingness in this world is where I feel like all of us need to move towards. What are the things I would like to belong, and where are the things I would not want to belong to? I think having that clarity really helps. True or not? So today's questions, of course, please dedicate them to love. So you can ask me any questions on relationships now that I am going to be this year practicing a lot more of relationships at the end of this 25-day challenge. So every day at 6 p.m. in the evening, we are going to post a challenge, which we would love for you to participate. It's going to be a few posts and with a challenge right in the end, and then you just practice it for 24 hours and come back for the next one. Definitely this should improve wherever you are at, with whoever you would like your relationship fixed with. This could be a love relationship, or it could be any relationship. This could be a relationship with your parents, it could be with your siblings, it could be with your children, because I feel like all of the principles work for pretty much all of your relationships. Yes? So every day 6 p.m. starting today. So right now I think it's 4 o'clock in India. 6 o'clock today we will post out our first challenge for the day, just so that I can fit my 25 days, and 10th March is my 25th anniversary, and that's the day I am going to be announcing something which I'm going to leave as a surprise for today, but it's going to be a fabulous announcement, something that I haven't done and I have been requested for now for the last 5-7 years. People have been saying, Puja, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? I need this, I need that. So we've taken all of the things that you've been asking us to do and pretty much created something supremely fabulous. So if you participate in the challenge, at the end of it, we will invite you. For those of you who complete all the 25 days, and 25 days is not easy to do, but you know what? It rewires your brain. They say it takes 21 days to rewire your brain to do anything. I've added 4 more days simply because it's my 25th anniversary. Yes? Superb. Oh, the voice is fine? Not fine? Okay, yeah. Somebody's saying refresh it. Your voice is changing. I'm in this environment that is not in my control. No, neither is the internet. Let me show you around. Wait. What do I need to press? Yeah, I'd love to show you how it is all snow outside. That is a beautiful building. I'm not sure what in Iceland is that building. I think yesterday they did mention. So you can see I am currently in a bar that only opens on Friday in this hotel. So fortunately for me, they were sweet enough to give me this area. So just showing it to you guys. And I just love the whole interiors. I didn't realize that it'll be so orangey and that I'm also wearing orangey. For those of you who love all of this, just giving you a glance of where I am. Yes, Iceland is really gorgeous. People are amazing and I'm so excited about this trip. It's literally a bucket list trip for me. Okay, I am back. Let me switch the video back onto me. Yup, done. So how many of you here are going to participate? Put I'm in the chat box if you're participating in the challenge. For some of the sentences, your voice changes completely like some other woman and then in a few minutes it gets back to normal. I'm so sorry about that experience. The internet or my voice or the iPad or nothing of technology is in my control today. So I'm just going to stick with fabulous. Let's see if I can find some relationship questions. How do we not expect anything from my partner and just love him for who he is today? How should I handle my disappointments in relationships? Woohoo! So yeah, great question, sweetheart, because I think that's pretty much all of us struggling with this. Few things. One, I do believe that while Valentine's Day, birthday, anniversaries, these are fabulous days to remind us of love. Majority of the time, the expectations on these days become so high and heavy for the couple that a lot of times I think we land up getting more upset than happy. And I think that was one of my biggest realizations about 10-15 years ago, where I realized that my biggest fights used to happen after my birthday, after my anniversary, and I started to notice that there was a pattern that had erupted, because the rest of the year I didn't care much if I got flowers or not, but on my anniversary, if you forgot to give me flowers, then I would feel very hurt. So then what I did in the process was that I said, you know what, I am not going to let this ruin the most special days. So I'm going to change my expectations. I'm going to ask him for what I want. And if I get it, I'll be very happy. And if I don't get it, I'm still going to be okay. And by the way, a lot of women talk about throwing hints. I don't throw hints. I actually tell. So if you go to my story right now and notice the proposal that happened in Paris a few days ago, well, that proposal was completely inspired by me or triggered by me, because I said, Puneet, we are going to Paris. My 25th anniversary is coming. You never proposed to me the first time around, because that time 1999 proposals didn't exist. Your parents proposed for you. So I would love for you to ask me out. I don't need you to do much. A bouquet of flowers, Eiffel Towers in the background. You just take the ring I'm wearing. I was wearing a ring at that point. Just take it and ask me out. I'll just feel happy that you made me feel special. Literally, that was the proposal. So I don't want anyone seeing that and going, oh my God, her husband does so much for her and mine is not. And that's the other big problem. The comparison that we keep having with the world. So therefore, we start to feel inadequate in our own relationship. Even though there's nothing wrong in our relationship, we just want to feel special, and that's all we need. Now, if someone is making you feel special on a daily basis, it's very difficult to up the ante for a special day. Would you agree or not, right? Now, coming back to Siva Ranjani's question, how do we not expect anything from our partner? I don't know if that's possible. The fact that I love you, I will have expectations. So not to expect, I don't know how to do. Okay, because I always give this example that if I'm going to cook the whole day and Puneet's going to come back and not even appreciate a single dish, how is that going to work for us? So appreciation is a part of my expectation. It's bound to be. But however, if I continuously realize that my man is not capable of something, Okay, now it could be anything. Maybe he's not expressive in words. Maybe he's expressive in action. Maybe he's expressive in words, but he's not good with gifts. Maybe he's good with gifts, but he doesn't have time for me. Maybe he's good with... So what we'll end up doing in our relationships a lot of times, I feel, is that we want what we are not getting. What we are getting, we are very happy with and we are taking it for granted. And now we are looking for what we are not getting. So those who are getting quality time want gifts, and those who are getting gifts want quality time, and that's what happens a lot of times. So I think one of the things we have to keep in mind on our journey is make a list of all the things that you are getting and get extremely grateful for it, and just see if you can start to create compensations rather than asking for whatever it is that you're not getting. So what do I mean by compensations? Oh, you can't be available to me during the week. All right, on Sundays, can we just go for breakfast? Okay, on Sundays, we can't go for breakfast. Can we go at least for coffee? Okay, we can't go for coffee on Sundays. How about a movie on Friday evenings? Keep working at it to see what actually works. True? So that's my way of managing my expectations, not by removing my expectations, but by readjusting them time and again to see what is he and I capable of doing together so that we can make our relationship work. Then how should I handle disappointments in my relationship? The more emotionally mature you keep becoming, the more your ability to handle disappointments. And I want to here bring in a distinction of handling disappointments. Handling disappointments is not, you're not going to be in conflict, you're not going to get upset, you're not going to be unhappy, you're not going to feel angry. That's not what's going to happen. It is how fast you bounce back from that emotion. How fast you bounce back. So I'd asked Puneet to get me green tea. By the time he got it for me, it was time to switch this on. So I got a minute late. I'm looking at him going, hurry. Right? Now I can be upset, and to the degree that I choose to, or I can be like, at least he got me green tea. Right? And I think when handling disappointments, it is your ability to look for the good in the bad. Okay, I mean, this was a rather vague example or a silly example, but you know what I mean when I say this, that you know what, if you can, the way to handle disappointments is to look for, okay, in this situation, what's amazing? You know, at least we've come to Iceland. At least this has happened. At least that has happened. Or at least he wished me, if not brought me flowers. Okay, at least even if he didn't wish me, he woke me up with a kiss. Whatever is it that you can find to hold on to anchor yourself into sometimes is also helps to at least begin with managing your expectations and disappointments. I think another thing that I have learned in my life very clearly is what my man can't give me, my village should give me. And when I keep talking about my village, it is that all of us women need to create a tribe of cheerleaders where we should be able to go for a movie, for our happiness. Oh, there's these lovely dinosaurs walking outside the... Let me just show you quickly. Can you see the dinosaurs? Oh my God, there's some event happening. That was so cool. And so I'm also going to say this, that, you know what, if you don't have a group of galentines as they are calling it, then highly suggest that. Because I feel like I put too much pressure sometimes on my own relationship, while it could have easily been managed by, like this morning I woke up and I said, Puneet, there's this lovely shop outside. I want to go buy a shirt or two from there. And then I looked at him and said, would you like to come or should I go with my girlfriends? And he was like, go with your girlfriends. I said, perfect. Okay, what I can do by myself, why should I ask him? Let me ask him for the real stuff now. I think that's the other thing we land up making a mistake. So, Siva, see what you can find in this for yourself, that how you can have expectations, how fast you can bounce back, how you can have disappointments, and how fast you can look at the good in the bad. Okay, if you get all of these 4 steps right, I have a feeling you will get lots of life right. Woohoo, Shreyu! Love you, sweetheart! Oh, I can see some of my galentines right here. Hi, Riddhi. Hi, Shreya. Hi, Minakshi. Aarti, Dipali. Holistic Life Coach Yoga. Being a mom, it feels like always we need to give, and to expect seems like a sin. Asking for something is being like, I don't know how to explain it or how to overcome this. You know what? I think any relationship which we give only one way, we are training the other person to take us for granted. So actually, if you really want your children to be mature adults eventually in beautiful relationships, learning to have that exchange of what I need from you versus what you need from me, and then bartering that, is so much more beautiful than making it a one-way street. Yeah, of course, if your child is under the age of 5, it's going to be one way. But I feel like the minute they are capable of returning the favor, at least start with them showing gratitude, moving on to them showing gratitude and appreciation, moving on to them learning delayed gratification. Delayed gratification is the concept of, you want something from me, do something for continuously for these many days, and then you can earn it yourself. And I believe that we have to teach children how to earn whatever it is that they desire. I've done a lot of that. Today, I feel like I would very easily give to my children anything they ask for, because it's kind of getting established that they've got their value system around money pretty right. So now is the first time where Puneet and I both have started to slightly over nurture the children, because maybe we also live so far away from them that if you're going to only meet them for 3-4 days every 3-4 months, you tend to overdo it. So while I do believe that I'm a little guilty of overdoing it, I would recommend that as they are being brought up, I think I'm not a big believer of being overly strict or of deprivation. Neither are those my parenting styles. I have no problem with somebody having that as their parenting style till the time you are consistent with one parenting style, because what children really need is the safety of knowingness, and they will always keep pushing their boundaries. So all right, so I hope you got a little bit of something from there, that you know what, start to have a conversation around them having to do things for you too. And remember to not forget to set consequences. When we ask our children to do something for us and it doesn't happen and we don't do anything about it, then the child now knows that it's just simply talk. Nothing's going to change. Then they will not put in the effort. So it has to be, boundaries have to be set with what are the actions you want done and what will be the consequences if it doesn't happen. This is the exchange that we as parents need to bring in with our children. Can you speak about the challenge once again? Okay, so it's called Love Lessons, where we are going to be covering, basically I'm going to be covering 25 years of what I have done with Puneet and how hard we worked. A lot of people think when they see a good relationship that this must be them naturally. And the truth is, do not take any good relationship to be natural, because trust me, a lot of effort goes into healing your own, healing your own childhood wounds, healing your own trauma, healing your own insecurities and the experiences that you had, for you to reach a place where both of you come together without projecting onto each other your needs because of the fears and doubts that you grew up with. So I feel like I want to show you, like, the first 10 years of our marriage was good, okay, average to good, and I feel like the last 15 years have been fabulous. And I want to share with you what are those things that we started to do together as a couple. Some of these will be very simplistic. I don't think I'm going to be speaking about something that you've never heard about before, but I think in our daily life, one of the things we don't do is we don't actually do them. We know of them, but we don't land up doing them. And I want to just bring it into the doing. As I call it, love is a verb. When I say love is a verb, love needs to be expressed. Just to feel love is not good enough. It needs expression. It needs to come out. It needs to be shown. And that's pretty much what the 25-day challenge is going to be. It's going to end on the 10th of March with a beautiful surprise for all of you who land up participating for all the 25 days. Now, if you know some people who you think will benefit from this challenge, I'm going to request you to please invite people to my page by either tagging them under this post or tagging them under the previous post of the Love Lessons challenge. If you can just tag people that you'd like to invite so that they don't miss the challenge and they can really enjoy the 25 days of traveling with me and falling in love with themselves, falling in love with the people around them, and just starting to have a new perspective on love. So that's pretty much the challenge. It ends with a very beautiful gift. So be very excited about that, because trust me, I will make it worth it. That is my promise. Yes. What is the challenge about? It's just love lessons from my life. That's all. Every day I will share with you something that Puneet and I started to do, which has worked in our marriage, and I would love for you to try it. You can try it with any relationship of yours, yeah? Let me go right to the bottom so that I'm not missing out on anyone. Awesome. Please form a Galentine's group for us in Delhi, Puja. We really need this. So Pragya, that is definitely something that I am very, very consciously going to be working on this year to help really create a village, because what a village used to give us earlier, today we expect from a man, and I think that needs to be changed. So I want all of you here to start to look at what are all the things you'd like to do, and then start to look at who are all the people you can do it with. So you should have a movie gang, you should have a traveling friends gang, you should have a shopping friends gang, you should have a sitting by the fireplace having coffee gang. And these could be the same people or these could be different people. What I've realized is that eventually our investment in people is what pays off the most. We women thrive in communities, we are not supposed to be the lone alpha wolf. We are supposed to be community builders. So now that we know that we women are community builders, let's start to build those friendships, and I've noticed for me personally, a group of 3 works best. So a group of 3 for this, a group of 3 for that. It doesn't, because if you have very large groups, then you land up forming groups within groups. How many of you know what I'm talking about? So start to look at that intimate group of 3. The other day I was watching a very nice Insta reel. She said almost every woman on her WhatsApp will have one group of 3 women with a very weird name. And I went back to see, oh my God, how many weird named 3 people groups I have. So I'm going to highly recommend to all of you, start to form your clique of 3. Somehow there's a magic in the number 3, especially when you're looking for shared interests. Okay, so just loved your Michelin star meal. Do let us know about it. So San Sebastian is the food capital of the world, and we were with our children there for the last 2-3 days. It was simply fabulous. Oh my God, the food there was beyond mind-blowing. It was my first experience in San Sebastian, and if you just Google, it is also supposed to have the maximum Michelin star restaurants in the world in one area. I think it's got 18 Michelin star restaurants, and so the beauty was you don't need to book like months in advance, unlike other countries where if you want to go to places like that, the meal was over 4 hours, and every dish, the preparation, the detailing, the chef coming in, and the vegetables, and they brought all of the raw produce onto the table. It was an experience of a lifetime. Trust me as I say that, because but today I am doing intermittent fasting because I have been now in Europe for the last 10 days, and it's now starting to feel like there's too much food going in. So I want to slow down my food. So I hope that answers your question, darling. It's Kuti and me, and she's asking how to bring intimacy and romance after a baby between the busy schedules. That is so beautiful a question, because it tends to go away. So it's naturally, we are built that once our mother hormones take over, our desires and our need to be with one another reduces a lot, especially in that period of when you've just had a young baby. So one of the things you can do is scheduling. One of the things I've learned in my marriage is that you have to schedule time for each other. You schedule time for the gym. You schedule time for cooking, you schedule time for your baby, you schedule time for your work, then why not for your relationship? So I have a rule of 15 minutes every morning of doing gratitude and coffee, Wednesday evening dinners, and every 3 months a 1 day or a 2 day recharge somewhere outside of my house. That's normally something that has worked very beautifully for me. So somebody had once mentioned to me the 2-2-2 rule. In every 2 weeks for 2 minutes connecting every day, then 2 weeks going out for dinner, and then every 2 months a trip or something like that it was. But you create your own. Okay, it can even be 777. So 7 minutes every day connection, then 7 days ke baad one dinner, and then 7 weeks ke baad one trip. So you decide whatever works for you. You choose your lucky number and make it your own relationship rule. But the thing is to follow it consistently. Now Puneet and I have been doing Wednesday dinners for over, I don't know, maybe 16, 17 years. I feel like it's been very, very long. So, and I can see. So a few months ago, we left a 1 month out of this Wednesday dinner, and I saw the relationship deteriorate. You know that? So it was quite crazy that how a ritual, when it's being done, we take it for granted. The minute it stops working, how we'll end up. So I'm going to highly recommend to you, if you really want your intimacy and romance back, you need to bring certain routines and rituals to your marriage, which need to be given the importance, because remember, the baby came because of your love for each other, and that for anyone who's choosing to be more mother than wife is doing a disservice to a very, very beautiful relationship. So wife and mother need to be constantly juggled. And you must ask the man to lead in that. Can you tell your mom or my mom to keep the baby and request, can we plan a date night? Can you buy something for me that I can wear as a dress for that evening? Can you book the hotel? Can you do some? So it's all about requesting him to lead. Now, how I make Puneet lead is quite silly. I just tell him what to do, and then I tell him just go do it. So I don't leave it to him to plan, because I know that much he's not going to. So I just tell him, you know what, sweetheart, there is this presidential suite at the Leela, and for my birthday, just book it. We'll check in at 12 o'clock. We'll check out at 12 next day, and just book the spa for 2 hours. I make it super easy for him, because otherwise I know I'll be sitting angry for thinking he doesn't love me, and all of that drama that goes on in my head when, when your man does not give you the time you want. When will we get the sister-verse video, which was on the 5th? I'm not sure about that. I want you to come for all of the sister-verse sessions live. Okay, so they do get released on your WhatsApp group. Just be in touch with Gunjan. It's already happened. It should have by now gone out and got vanished also by now. So you need to just get on board with that. So anybody who's a part of Sisterverse, be in touch with Gunjan. She will add you to the group. So there's a full Sisterverse group where the video gets posted for the whole week. If you've paid 999 rupees, then you should be able to have access for this video. If you don't have access for this video, speak to Gunjan. Okay? CS Nidhi, how would you deal with ghosting? I treat ghosting as the yellow flags in the relationship, okay? So anytime someone is ghosting me, I am experiencing the fact that maybe I am not a priority. The first time someone ghosts me, I give them the benefit of doubt, which means that, you know what, I don't know what's happening in their life. Let me show concern. So my way of reaching out to a person who's ghosting is to show concern. Is everything okay? You're not the kind of person who'll say you'll meet me at 7 and then not show up, or say you'll call back but you haven't called back. I'm just wondering if everything's okay. So it's a point of concern. The second time someone ghosts me, now the red flag is turning semi-orange, okay? And I'm starting to feel like maybe this person is not really having the value system of being consistent with their conversation. So I'm going to start to doubt that. And so what I'll start to do is I will reconfirm. So I will say something like, you know what, I see you're extremely busy and that, you know what, you may not have time, but this is your commitment. Please send me a thumbs up in case we are still on. This I will check normally 24 hours prior and then 1 hour prior, knowing that this person's personality is slightly not the most dependable. And if it happens a third time, honestly, I don't have time for such people. These are the kind of people I don't want in my life, okay? So if God is making sure that he reveals someone to me before I invest in them emotionally and in every other possible way, how lovely. Thank you so much for letting me know this is not my kind of person. I do not want to be with this kind of person. So I think if you can start to treat ghosting as a 3-step process, step 1, show concern. Sometimes somebody just has not given it the importance or just not realized the commitment they've made, and or they've gotten stuck with something a lot more serious. A lot of times with my clients, I will message them, is everything okay? And they'll be like, oh, my son fell off the swing, or I'm in the hospital, or and then I realize, oh my god, no worries at all. I'm glad I didn't take it as a personal insult and I checked out of concern. So it helps me know what kind of a person the other person is. If the person apologizes a lot, if a person is telling me that, what, next time I'll make it up to you, I'll do something for you, then I know that, what, they value me, I value them. It was just a one-off. If I start to realize they don't value me, no matter how amazing they are, they can't be a part of my life. Please use ghosting as the person revealing their true personality to you, and you definitely don't want to be with someone who's not dependable as far as timing is concerned. True? All right. Happy Valentine's Day to you too. Will there be any time slot for the challenge? I am absolutely. So every evening, 6 p.m. Now, this is a huge thing I've taken on because I'm on this trip and I'm going to be posting from here. So it's going to be slightly challenging. So I'm hoping and praying that 6 o'clock sharp, I'm able to post every day. That is, please bear with me if it goes 15 minutes here or there. Okay? This year, I'm going to go super deep with relationships. So for those of you who are a part of my tribe or who would like to be a part of my tribe, just know that we're going to have a lot more conversation around best practices in couples as well as in parenting. I'm going to take both of these on and go very deep with them. So if that is something that excites you, put exciting in the chat box. And also, if you have any questions around relationships, around parenting, do DM me, because you know what, I'll start to develop the courses. I'm not, disclaimer, I am not a certified relationship coach, but I have enough experience of helping women now for the last decade and more that I am feeling very confident around the fact that, you know what, it's time for me to go deeper with every woman, for her to really understand how to handle the patriarchy, how to handle her independent personality, and how to marry these two to get the best out of a relationship. And I think that we are so ready for this conversation. I have worked very hard with my tribe to work on their own self-development, because the minute you have a beautiful relationship with self, your relationship with others anyway starts to improve. But now I'm feeling like, let's go a step deeper. Now that we've worked for so many years on ourselves, if you haven't done awakening, if you haven't done enlightenment with me, highly recommend that go do those courses, because let's get your base right with your relationship with yourself, and then to it let's add every relationship that truly matters. So that's the whole plan. Are you traveling with family or friends? So the first 3 days in Paris was just Puneet and me. Spain, both the boys joined us, so it was the 4 of us. And now we are in Iceland with a group of maybe, I don't know, I'm guessing 50, 60, 70 people. So huge, massive group of friends. So loving it. I'm very excited about it. We do these yearly retreats with our friends group. It's, I think, my 11th year of coming on these retreats. So I look forward to them. They're always to very unique places. Last year we had done South Africa. Last year we had done Ireland. So yeah, so every year it's these 3-4 days with this group of bunch of people who are so fun. So today's day 1, so I'm very excited. The Millennial Stage blog is asking, how do you manifest your girl tribe when you move into a new city? So it's all about the level of effort you're willing to take. So my suggestion to you would be, first make a list. I don't know if you're married, not married, if you have children, not children. If you have children, moms is the first tribe you make, by the way. Okay, so school mothers. I don't know how do you put them here. So mothers of your children, mothers of the children in your child's class are the first set of friendships you'll end up making in case you are a mother. If you're not a mother, then your job or in the new city, whatever your career is, will be your first set or first line of friendships that will get created. Now, beyond that, I'd love for you to make a list of things that interest you. Now, if you love museum, then I would love for you to start visiting museums. If you love going to, let's say, art class, I would love for you to join an art class. Looking at your passions, the best place to find your girl gangs is normally the passions that you have in your life. Now, some of us don't have any passions. Great. Now you need to build that. The first thing you need to do is find out for yourself, what are the things I love doing? Okay, so my children one son loves TT, so now he has this Sunday TT group, 2 hours every Sunday they'll play TT. The other son loves bouldering. Actually, both of them love bouldering. So now they go bouldering every weekend. So depending on how sporty you are, you can choose sports. If you are very talented, you can choose a talent. If none of that, you can just start to go to cafes and sit there and just start to look around and observe, or you can even approach, depending again on how you would like to operate, who it is you are wanting to attract, who it is that you are interested in. Sometimes all you need to do is find one person and then let that person introduce you to other people. That also works like magic. Sometimes it could be the wives or the friends of your partner. That also works like magic. So once you are aware, I would love for you to take a sheet and create a full diagram on, this is me, solo me, and then this is all the various ways I can create or find friends. And then there's a lovely book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's a very, very, maybe 100-year-old book, but till today I feel like it's got one of the best strategies around how to really win friends and how to influence people. So get yourself a few of these books that help you start to look at how to approach strangers, or how to have that first awkward conversation, or how to invite people without feeling like a stalker or creepy. So I think, the thing is, one of the things we all have to understand is that everyone is looking for a good friend. Everyone pretty much in this world would love to have someone who cares for them and someone that they can care for. Once you understand this, that you are not the only one looking for this, but that everyone wants this. Some of them know it, some of them don't know it, but pretty much all. What we don't want is that one category of person who's forever constantly complaining or blaming or is negative or gossipy. That's what we don't want. But there is this category of person we want who truly shows care and shows up and is there for you. And when you start to nurture, and I can tell you this, that if you want the truly caring kind of friends, you don't need a very large group. That's why I keep going back to the magic of 3 people. We think we need these large groups that we would love to belong to. The truth is 3 is all you need. Can you start to look for, and sometimes the 3 just happens very organically. 2 people will be close and you get added, or you are close to someone and they add one more person and that becomes your clique. Okay. Now again, if you're not used to friendships, you're not used to knowing how to do this, it may be slightly challenging in the beginning, but you know what? With practice, we all get better. And I'd love for you to first make a list of all the things you're passionate about, all the places you could join or could go to, and then create your circle of what all you're going to do. And you'll see within a month, you will have enough people that suddenly this is what happens to me. Suddenly I'll feel lonely and I'll be like, I need friends. And then I'll go out and make friends. And now I'll be like, okay, this is too many friends. Now I need to reduce the friends. Who do I want to nurture? Who do I not want to nurture? So, especially for working women, it's very hard. Yeah. I mean, I think once a week, a night out with friends on a Friday evening is more than enough for me. I don't need more than that. Joshna, he likes spending more time outside and listen to people more than us. So Joshna, that's not just your man, that's 90% of the men, okay? First, let's accept that. The problem with us is the more we repeat this to them, the more we cement this idea into them. So today onwards, Joshna, for you, I have one special activity. Your job is to spend 3 minutes with him and start to tell him how amazing those 3 minutes were. Okay, you cannot complain for the whole month. Zero complaining about him not giving you time. The only thing you have to do is look for the time you spent and appreciate it. Look for the time, even if it was 1 minute. I remember Jack Canfield used to say this to me, that Pooja, when your children come back home with a 2 on 10, celebrate the 2 and ask them how come they were able to guess those 2 and how fabulous they did. They said whatever we focus on grows. When we focus on the fact that he prefers his friends, my husband is an extremely passionate person. He has golf in his life, he has work in his life, he has he is president of so many different organizations, or has been president of so many different organizations, and now he has to attend all of that. He has a whole golfers group of friends. He's passionate about his exercise and gymming and all of that also so much. So I know that he's the kind of person who doesn't really need me in his life. If I don't exist for some time, he won't even come to know. So I know that already. Now I can either make that the most prominent conversation, or I can just say, Puneet, how in the middle of a million things that you do, you remember to keep the powder out for me. You remember to, help me fold my jacket. You'll remember to charge my phone. You'll remember to, spend the 5 minutes doing gratitude, even if you have to steal it from somebody else. And I'll appreciate those very small, tiny things for so much time that eventually at some point he'll just be like, that will just become naturally who he is. So I'm going to do a whole series on training the man. That is something I would love to do. And I don't mean this in a derogatory way at all. I just feel like the world we live in right now, our mothers and mother-in-laws did not know that there's something called man training, which is why what happened was that while we train the man a lot for how the son needs to be in the family, how he needs to be in his job, how he needs to be with his children, the whole conversation around the woman is pretty much missing. So we need to bring back that conversation, and I think the most wonderful person to do that training is the mother. That's the conversation. Like this time when we were in Spain, my son was speaking to me about something, and I said, sweetheart, if you can say yes to the girl you're going to be with, just say yes. And that's one of the things that I believe that in relationships we have to do, is say a lot more yes than no's. We need to bring in a lot more yeses. So these are just those very simple things that our men have not been taught. So I think instead of holding it against them, let's start to now nurture them to becoming the people we would like to be with. Okay, it's going to take some time. It's not going to be easy. Why do we only have to do it? I wish we didn't. I wish I had a better solution, but I don't. Yes, got it. Sometimes men are not aware how to make his girl special. So is it okay to make your own itinerary? I think there's no other way. I think the only time a man will make his own itinerary for you is till he hasn't gotten you. So the challenge period, that is why courtships are so exciting, because it's the period where he's yet to own the chase. Okay, he has yet to own what he's chasing. Once the chase is over, that's it. It ends for him there. And from there on, it's the woman who has to lead in love. And once you'll understand that, I have a lot of things coming for all of you. Don't worry. I am going to, by end of April, you will all know all of those little things that we need to do for our men, for them to get trained to know how to love us. Okay? How will that be fun? Put fun in the chat box if you think that'll be fun. Oh, so sweet. I'm so glad. Sometimes when I use sentences like this, people get so upset with me, man training and all. I'm like, no, okay, I will come up with a better name for it. But for now, till I come up with a better name, that is the literal way. Exactly. My husband is the same. The more I appreciate him, the more he spends time with me. You know what? If we want, we can have our men doing exactly what we want them to do in the most beautiful way. I am not speaking about being manipulative. I am speaking about the fact that if you truly love him, then there is a process of how to go about it so that you can influence him. Okay, but of course all of this will give you the power, and if you don't love him and you use all of these strategies, that's a very cheap thing to do. So please, I'm only wanting to speak to the people who are crazy about their spouse but would also love that same craziness in return. Hi Pooja, if I do one thing for him, he keeps expecting more and more. I feel better not doing anything rather. And I agree with you, Kanupriya, because a lot of times what's happening is that if in a relationship only one person is doing all the giving, then it's better you don't do your 100% correct. So while you do, learning to be specific in your asks, learning to be specific in what you want in return is also so important. So not only should he expect more and more when you do one thing, when you do that one thing, you too should expect. And if your expectations are not being met and the relationship is not going forward, then it's actually better not to do. And I'm in complete agreement with you. Otherwise, you will turn into an extremely negative person. You notice some of our mothers, mother-in-laws, or people from the previous generation, you'll see that they have a lot of negativity because they have over-given, like given to another level. Like, I know my mom is the kind of mom who has truly given to her children, to her husband, she can love to another level. She's just a vessel of love, if I may call her. And to a lot of us, our mothers are like that. And then what happened eventually? They trained their own spouse and children to take them for granted and then felt bad about it. So I think it's very, very important, Kanupriya, what you're addressing, to get that whole formula right. Which is why I don't know if one Insta Live is enough for me to have this conversation. I feel like I need to go much deeper with all of you to take you through the step-by-step strategy. And I'm pretty sure this challenge for the next 25 days is going to help a lot of you get clarity on some of the things that we haven't been speaking about in society. And for some of you, the thing with relationships is either you like this whole conversation or you don't like it at all, because you're not in that space of getting your man to come around. Sometimes the years have gone by, sometimes the patterns have gotten set, and to break patterns is not easy. But if you're in this room today, then maybe God really wants you to take your relationship to the next level. And I believe that you can fix it even after years of not having it right. The beauty of a relationship is that it responds to whatever is currently happening in the relationship. And if you start to change your energy, the other person's energy is bound to change. So I'd love to leave you all with a lot more hope. Can you throw some light on solo dating with self isn't good? I think it's fabulous. I don't know what is not good about it. I would recommend even all couples to go solo once in a while and do solo dating with yourself, because self-reflection is one of the most beautiful ways of moving forward in life, and it helps you really notice who you are as a person, how you would like to show up in your relationship, what it is you want, what you're not willing to compromise with. Because I do believe that currently in the world we have a lot of single people. And a lot of single people are being pressured to be with people who do not deserve them. Like, they are far superior or better in terms of personality, and they're being asked to compromise just so that they don't remain solo. And I think that's one of the most biggest disservices we are doing to the solo people. So I'm a big fan of remaining solo till you find the right one. Now, I'm not saying don't compromise. Compromise is a huge, very, very important, very, very essential part of being in a relationship. But compromising for who it should be worth it. What you're compromising should be worth it. So compromise for sure, but do it for the right person who values that compromise. If the compromise is values, it is not a compromise at all. But if the compromise doesn't get valued, then it feels like you're being taken for granted. So my dear darling solo dating girl, I would highly recommend to you that spend some time self-reflecting to really see the kind of person you want, where will he be available to start to move out. You're going to have to take proper action, and I'm going to create a step-by-step conversation around solo person wanting to attract the right man. It's a conversation I want to go much, much deeper in. I have a few plans around it. Expect the surprise at the end of this challenge. So on the 10th of March, my 25th year anniversary, solo people, please be there. Couple people, please be there. And I will reveal to you the big surprise. Ma'am, you're in such a beautiful place. Please tell me where you are. I'm in Iceland. I think it's called Reykjavik. I don't know the exact pronunciation. Reykjavik is the name of the city that we are in. We are planning to go and see the whole city today, tomorrow, day after. 3 days of just the lava caves and the beautiful geysers and the, the volcano just erupted about 2 days ago here. So you can go and see that. You can go and see. So I think I'm pretty excited about this trip, and you'll see some of it through the stories, through my stories. Yeah. All right, on that note, we have hit 4:53, so time to start to come to a close. Thank you so much for coming. I really hope that each one of you in this room is going to participate in the wonderful challenge that I'm putting in a lot of effort to create. So please be a part of it. Would love you there. Yes? All right. Let's do the photo. Do tell me in the chat box below, not here, but in when I post this video on my page or in the stories, of what was your biggest takeaway in relationships. And in under this video, when I post it, just put I'm in if you are in for the challenge. Okay, let's see if we can collect a couple of 100 people to do this challenge, because I feel like this challenge is really going to help you reset your relationships with different people. Yes? Fabulous. Love it. For all of you who are asking me personal questions about Puneet and me, you're going to get a lot of information over the next 25 days. So it'll be just TMI, too much information. Get ready for it. I have been very private publicly, but I share very easily with the internal tribe also. But this time around, I'm going to go a lot more personal, because I would love for you to understand different situations that all of us as a couple go through, and what to do about it. The average way of responding, the good way of responding, and the goddess way of responding. Once we get all of those three in, then we can choose. I'm not saying every time I respond only like a goddess. Of course, that's not possible humanly. But you know what? Majority of the time, if you're able to respond beautifully, then it works like magic. Yes? All right. And for all of you who are excited about this challenge along with me, let's just turn 2024 into our best year yet, okay? I'm really keen that we work in every aspect of our life and make it fabulous. And for some of you here, if you're coming on the 24th of February, give me a thumbs up in the chat box, because I'm really excited that I'm going to see some of you on the 24th of February. Again, I'm going to have a very detailed conversation with all of you around relationships. As I said, that's going to be my topic for the year. So I look forward to seeing you there and starting this whole conversation. Yes? 1,000 kisses to all of you. I better run before everyone outside who's been waiting for me goes off leaving me. I better run now, but love you all. Thank you so much for coming. A very happy Valentine's Day. And for those of you who are solo, very happy Solotine's Day. And for those of you who are in groups of women, have very happy Galentine's Day. Suit yourself completely. If you have a man in your life, tell him what you want and make him do it for you. Those days are over where we were supposed to go, but I told him, so now if he does it, it's not like he loves me. If you have a man who does it after you have told him, is amazing. Appreciate and love him for that. Okay, don't think, oh, I only told him, so then what's the point? Doesn't work like that. Got it? All right. Okay, love you all so much. Thank you for coming. Mwah, 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 mwah. Enjoy the challenge, 6 p.m. today. Expect it, wait for it. And we will tell you what to post in the chat box every day. Yeah? Love you all. Bye. Ciao. Tata.